Demesnes Aithera by SF and D.A. Swem.
Copyrighted 2012 SF and D.A. Swem. This is a work of fiction. All of the characters, organizations, and events portrayed in this novel are products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. All rights reserved, including the right to reproduce this book, or portions thereof, in any form. To you, the reader, thank you for the time you have set aside for this adventure.
Now let the journey begin. Enjoy the prologue. The cool autumn night sings a natural lullaby, with crickets chirping, frogs croaking, and night birds calling softly to each other. And then slowly, the sound fades as the clouds in the overcast sky move in their lazy flight, until they part and the soft light from the large round moon shines down upon the lands, bathing the lands and buildings. The moonlight falls on one of the larger dwellings. The open window is inviting, and the light enters and beams down into a small table and the baskets sitting there. The gentle breeze slows and then stills, as if Mother Nature herself is holding her breath in anticipation of the night's events. The face of the man in the moon seems to be smiling, as if something wonderful is going to be happening this night. For in truth, something wonderful is taking place. The joyful pain of life, about to begin its journey on a long road. In the larger manor house, shadowed by the ever-present Dragonback Mountains, none can sleep this night. The silence of the night is broken by the sounds of a woman in pain, a pain that she is willing to endure, for the reward is a new life. Her cries tug at the hearts and souls of those not present, but who wait within the adjoining room. Through the sturdy, closed door, the sound easily passes, and voices are muted, yet there is no denying the drama on the other side. Her mate stands as if he is made of stone, his face unreadable as he stares at the door, feeling as if he were dying with each wail that issues forth. For those within and without, the night seems to be longer than they can bear. Shortly after the ninth zenith, all sounds seem to fade after one final wail, an announcement to the world. The woman to whom all attention has been centered on this night brings forth a newborn girl into this world. The midwife accepts the child and releases its physical connection to the mother. She wraps the baby in soft infant clothing and places her in the basket before turning back to the mother to help with the final parts of birthing. From the shadows cast by flickering candles, one shadow moves forth, with a purpose, detaching from the others. It slithers along the floor unnoticed, making its way to the life that just entered this world. The clouds slowly cover the moon's light, and the man in the moon looks sad as the clouds block his sight. The slithering shadow then moves up and over the windowsill as it departs the room, and once outside, it moves quickly away from the manor house. The nursemaid glances only momentarily at the newborn as she assists the midwife, and then, as the midwife leaves to dispose of the afterbirth, she turns back to attend to the infant. The midwife returns, and since she does not see the infant at the mother's bosom, turns with a stern reprimand ready for the nursemaid. But then she sees her staring at the basket, and an unwelcome chill runs down the midwife's spine. The mother calls out for her child, and the midwife turns to her slowly with downcast eyes. "Milady," she says softly, painfully. The resulting wail, unlike those previously, bring the men running into the room. He who is lord, husband, and father, along with the family guards, with their weapons ready for trouble. Far away from the manor house, a shadow forms into a figure that looks to the east. "It is done, master. The chains have been broken." The shadowy figure turns and heads off in the direction of the nearest settlement. A short time later, a sphere forms where the creature had stood and then zooms off in the opposite direction. Skimming up and over the top of the mountains, a pointed, reptilian head turns and watches the spheres pass by. A sneer pulls the leathery lips back as the sphere drops down the other side of the mountain and into the hidden valley, zipping down through the trees to skip over the ground, over low walls and between forest fence rails. The skimming over flowers, sleeping for the night. It rises and aims for a window, and as the window opens slowly as if on its own, the sphere floats through. Inside, it moves slowly up towards the ceiling and comes to rest above the couple sleeping below. The man laying there had grown and become a force to be reckoned with, but his precautions and wards do not detect the approach or invasion of the sphere. Yet in his sleep, even with a sleep enhanced from the sphere, his brow knits slightly and he stirs somewhat, but does not awake. The woman next to him senses her mate's discomfort and stirs slightly, and then her hand slides out until it reaches his arm. The glow increases, ever so slightly, amazed that it is being sensed, and unspoken words flow. Though thee have become more than hoped, as with those that have come before, some of thee will go to the next, if not by thy doing, then by another. A glow slowly forms around the man and the woman. Then the glow forms into two small spheres that rise up towards the larger sphere. The two smaller ones move closer to each other and then slowly merge into one. Out through the window it travels with the other sphere as the two of them float upwards. The window slowly closes behind them, and the knitted brow slowly relaxes on the man's face. The spheres zip away and over the mountain. The dragon watches from a pointed peak and growls low, raising its head and roaring its displeasure to the night. The spheres continue on their journey across the lands until their destination comes into sight. A small estate, and to the estate house where, within its walls, a couple weeps softly. For off to one side lies a small bundle in a basket that does not move. The spheres float down through the ceiling of the estate house, unseen by the mourning couple, and come to hover over near the basket. The smallest sphere slowly descends and covers the still form, and the larger sphere rises to the ceiling and waits. The newborn glows slightly, and then the glow slowly sinks into the cold flesh. The others had all gone, leaving the couple with their pain. He was a strong man from life's hard work and character, but this night he is helpless to ease the woman's pain, and he just holds her tightly and rocks her slowly as she weeps. Something catches his attention, and he turns to stare at the bundle in the basket and sees the glow forming. His eyes see but do not comprehend, for his mind is numb. Then he sees a small rise and fall from the bundle. Beyond the woman's sobs, his ears pick up another sound that has intruded into the somber room. The sound continues and makes its way past the sobbing, and then she hears it, and her head slowly comes up from his chest. Sounds that she thought she would never hear again. Sounds that should not be possible this night. She must be imagining them. She listens, and then feels that which only a mother could know. She looks slowly to where the sounds could only be coming from, and disbelief fills her face as movement and sounds confirm that she is not going crazy. "Oh, Jonathan!" she cries as she pushes away from him and rushes to the basket, scooping up the bundle and holding it close to her with near-crushing force. "She lives!" Then, with a ragged breath, she whispers as she uncovers the baby's face. Wide amber eyes look back at her. "She lives!" Reasoning returns to the man, and he gets up and comes over to his new family, placing an arm about his wife and looking down at the newborn face that looks back at him with her wide amber eyes, eyes that have life, and a face that lights up with a cooing, happy expression. A tear slides down his cheek. Neither parent notices the child is more alert than a newborn ought to be. The woman turns her head to her husband with no more tears and says softly, "It is a miracle, Jonathan. She lives." Then, as she closes her eyes and turns her face to the ceiling, she breathes a silent thank you to the night. Slowly, reason returns to him once again, his mind in a whirl of gratitude and puzzlement. "Yes, Lily," he says softly, "it is a miracle, and I am grateful for it." His voice trails off and Lily opens her eyes looking deeply into his. "What is it, Jonathan?" she asks in a barely heard whisper. "I feel that she must be destined for something greater, for such miracles are not for ordinary people like us." He takes a deep breath. "We will raise her as best we can, but I fear forces beyond our understanding will guide her more. Yet we are blessed, for the Kilbray line has another, and it is a girl, so perhaps she is the one meant for this lordship." Hope glimmers in her eyes and then fades. "Oh, Jonathan, she cannot be meant for his lordship, for he has already taken a mate," she says with a quiver in her voice. He leans down and kisses her forehead softly as his mind continues to whirl. Then he straightens as an idea comes to him. She may still be meant for his lordship, the heir to the valley, if they bear a male child. Hope glimmers in her eyes once more. "Oh, now that would be a great day for all. The two estates once more as one." Lily beams as she looks down at the baby looking up at her. Aithera, my little one, you are meant to be, for you are going to do great things. The glow watching from above is satisfied, and it rises slowly through the ceiling and out into the night. That which will always be will continue as well, for now there is another.